Okay, so let's have a look at using the Amazon S3 storage. Okay, so we're using a Linux image here because it's probably the easiest thing to actually install the S3 command into. So this was installed using apt-get install 3g command. After that, we can use the -- configure, and then we enter in the Amazon ID and Amazon secret key code. Okay, so as we've seen, with the S3 command, we've got a number of commands that we can use. So, for example, MB creates a bucket, RB removes it, LS lists it. We can list all the objects in our buckets with LA. We can put a file into our bucket with put, and we can get it back with get. Okay, so let's have a look at seeing what buckets we actually have. Okay, so we have several buckets there. So what we'll do is we'll create a new bucket, MB, and we'll call it build.bucket. Okay, so we'll go back and have a look, and we can see here we've got our bucket created. Now what we'll do is that we have a file here called the test.txt. So S3 command, and we'll put test.txt into S3 build.bucket. And then we'll just list our bucket. Oops, we just forgot to put the name of the file. Okay, so we've now put our file in the bucket, and what we'll do is we'll list it back, and we can see there's our file there. So if we wanted, we could create another one and just do the same. And of course we remember to put the name of the file, and we can then go back and list the contents of our bucket. Okay, so there's the content of test.txt, and what we'll do is we'll get rid of that, and then we'll get our file back from our bucket using get. Okay, and hopefully our file will be back. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the other commands that we would want to use. Okay, so let's say we want to get rid of one of our buckets. So we can see here we use the RB command to remove a bucket. So we'll just list them first. S3 command, remove bucket, and let's say we get rid of this one. Hopefully it's empty, and paste it back there, and our bucket isn't empty, so we'll have to go and empty it. So S3 command, okay, so we can delete a file from a bucket with the del command. So we'll just go and list our bucket. And then we'll delete what's in it. Okay, so we'll just see what we have, and our bucket is now empty. So now we can go back and hopefully we can delete our bucket. Okay, so our bucket is now gone, and hopefully when we list it again it won't actually be there. Okay, so that's the way that we create our buckets, and the way that we can actually upload files into our buckets. If we have a look at some of the other commands that we can use, we can obviously look at CloudFront too. We can look at the disk usage for our buckets. So in a similar way to a Linux system. And list the objects is LA. And there we go. Okay, so this is showing an example of using the S3 command under Linux.